of ordinary people. No wonder you are confused. Okay. Let me relate my own experience as an example for you, so you may understand it much better. Yes, you will understand. Sit down. My father passed away when I was young, and mother persuaded me to learn medicine instead of becoming a scholar. In her opinion, learning medicine would be a good way to support myself and to help others. Besides, having a skill, I would never have to worry about making a living, and I could even become famous. According to her, this was my father's wish for me. I listened to mother and gave up the idea of becoming a government official. Until one day, when I went to the Compassionate Cloud Temple. Good morning, Your Eminence.
Gentlemen, from your facial appearance, you are destined to become a government official. Moreover, you will attain the rank of erudite first-level scholar next year. Why don't you study then?
Oh, this is because my mother said to me. He appeared to me to be a sincere person, so I told him my reason for giving up studies to learn medicine. I also asked him about his life experience.
My last name is Kong. I come from Yunnan province. I have inherited the knowledge of Mr. Kang Xie Shao, who developed the art of prediction very well. By calculations, I am supposed to pass it on to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Master. Thank you, Master. Please follow me. So I invited Mr. Kong to stay in the house and told my mother about him. Please have some tea.
Mrs. Yuan, forgive me for being direct. 5 generations ago, your Yuan family was a flourishing one. Unfortunately, after a disaster in spring 47 years ago, you were the only surviving family member in the whole clan. Moreover, your husband died at a young age.
Mr. Kong, you're really a master fortune teller. Even a disaster a few decades ago cannot escape from your calculation. You're indeed a living immortal.
You flatter me. I only made my conclusions based on the art of prediction. No wonder it is so accurate.
Mr. Kong is such an expert in the art of prediction. Why don't you ask him to help predict your destiny.
Yes, Mother. Believing what Mr. Kong had said, I began to study again to prepare for the examination for erudite first-level scholar. Once again, Mr. Kong made a prediction for me. According to him, as a student, I would place 14th in the county examination, 71st in the regional examination, and 9th in the provincial examination. The following year, at the 3 places of examination, I placed exactly as he predicted. Then I asked Mr. Kong to calculate the predictions for my entire life. The results of his predictions were that I would pass such and such a test in such and such a year, I would become a civil servant in such a year, and in such a year I would receive a promotion. Finally, I would be appointed as a magistrate in Sichuan province. After holding that office for 3.5 years, I would resign and return home. At the age of 53, I would die around 2 o'clock in the morning on August 14th. It was fated that I would not have a son.
Father, aren't these predictions wrong? Now you are over 60 years old, and I'm your own son.
Let me continue. From then on, the outcome of every examination I took turned out exactly as Mr. Kong had predicted. Mr. Kong predicted that I would be promoted only after receiving a salary in the weight of 91 dans and 5 dus of rice. However, I had received only 71 dans of rice when a senior education official recommended me for a promotion. I secretly began to doubt Mr. Kong's predictions. Nevertheless, the prediction turned out to be correct after all, because the recommendation was turned down by his superior. It was not until several years later, when Mr. Chiu Min-ying saw my old examination papers and exclaimed that the essays were well written, and it would be a pity to bury the talents of such a great scholar. Mr. Ying wanted their magistrate to issue an official order for me to become a candidate for imperial student under his authority. After undergoing this eventful promotion, my calculations showed that I had received exactly 91 dans and 5 dus of rice. From then on, whether it was promotion, rank, or wealth, I deeply believed that all came about in due time, and that the length of one's life is predestined. I began to view everything in a more detached manner and ceased to seek gain and profit. After being selected as an imperial student, I was to attend a university at Peking. During my year-long stay at the capital, my interest in meditation grew, and I often sat silently without giving rise to a single thought. I lost interest in books and did not study at all. One day I paid a visit to the enlightened Zen master Yungu at Chixia Mountain. This visit changed my whole destiny.
Mr. Yuan.